What's going on, people? Just got myself a new haircut. How do you like it? You don't care, right? You're here about Moment's QuickLock filter system, which we're going to talk about in today's video. Now, if you're serious about filming with your iPhone, you really want to check out their filters. After testing and using it for a couple of weeks, there's a lot I like, but also a lot of things, not a lot, but a few things I don't like. So in this video, I'll give you a quick breakdown of how the QuickLock system works, what each filter does, and the pros and cons after using it in the real world, not the Matrix. Now, just to be clear, this video isn't sponsored by Moment, but I did reach out to them and asked if they could send me their QuickLock filters because I was super curious about them. So with that said, let's get into the video. Now, Moment's QuickLock filters are made specifically for the iPhone 15 and 16 Pro Max models. What I really like is how those filters seamlessly integrate with Moment's case. The case is thoughtfully designed with easy access to all buttons and provides a fast, secure way to mount the filters without any threading. What truly sets them apart is the sleek design of the filters. You can see that they don't protrude beyond the phone, maintaining a clean and minimal look. This means it's compact enough to slide right into your pocket, so you're always ready to shoot. Now, the filter uses a button latch mechanism to lock firmly onto your camera lens, so you don't need to worry about it coming loose. It's also designed for quick removal, allowing you to switch between different filters whenever needed. And you can see Moment offers a variety of filters, including Cinebloom, Circular Polarizer, UV, and Variable ND, each crafted for a specific purpose to enhance your videos. The Cinebloom softens the highlights and reduces digital sharpness. It creates a dreamy cinematic glow and helps make smartphone footage feel less clinical. The Cinebloom comes in two strengths, 10% and 20%, allowing you to customize the amount of bloom effect in your shots. The Circular Polarizer reduces reflections from water or glass and enhances color saturation, especially in skies and greenery, by just simply turning the wheel. It's most effective when filming in bright daylight conditions. Then there's the UV filter, which blocks ultraviolet light, but since smartphones aren't affected by UV that much, its main purpose is to protect the lens from dust and scratches. For example, if you're shooting in a desert and it's windy, a UV filter can protect your lens from sand. Then we have the Variable ND, also known as neutral density filter. Works like sunglasses for your lens. By turning the wheel, you can reduce the amount of light entering the camera, allowing you to maintain a natural motion blur even in bright conditions, especially when shooting in 24 or 25 frames per second, where you want that cinematic motion blur. For instance, if you're filming in 25 frames per second, your ideal shutter speed is 1/50. But on a sunny day, that would easily overexpose your footage. So a Variable ND lets you reduce the light without touching your shutter speed, giving you proper exposure and smooth cinematic motion. All right, so let's talk about the pros of the Moment QuickLock filters. First off, the QuickLock system is fast and secure. You just snap it on and it locks into place. The build quality is also great, solid metal, sturdy latch, and I really like the design of the wheel to adjust the exposure. It makes it super fast and easy to quickly get the proper exposure. And I also appreciate the built-in rotation limit, which means it won't spin endlessly, which makes adjusting more precise. The filters also come in a compact, hard plastic case, which is great if you're traveling and can just toss it into your backpack. The case is also MagSafe friendly, and thanks to the compact design of the filters, I can easily pair it with, for example, a MagSafe power bank, and it works great. Or I can also attach it to a MagSafe phone mount, or use other accessories like the Vlog phone monitor to monitor and film myself. I really love utilizing the MagSafe features. It really makes life easier when filming. And I say that because most other mobile filters are too large, making it hard to use certain MagSafe accessories. Now, a huge plus is that these filters work across all iPhone lenses, ultra-wide, standard 2x and 5x lens. So let's test out the VND, which I have attached to the iPhone 16 Pro Max. And I have set the shutter speed to 1/50, and we're shooting at 25 frames per second. So we're gonna start off with the 13mm lens. Now, I always make sure to set the lowest ISO number, which is 15. So the starting point is ND4 when I have the VND attached. And you can see we do have a little bit of blown out highlights. I'm gonna remove that by dialing it between ND4 and ND8. And you can see we're shooting during the day. It's quite bright outside. The ultra wide angle lens needs a lot of light. You can see I didn't have to adjust much, and the image looks really good. We don't have any vignetting, nor do we have cross polarization. So let me now show you how it would look like if I would set the ND all the way up to 128. So we're gonna set the ISO to 800, and then I'm gonna dial it all the way to 128. And you can see that we do get vignetting and cross polarization, but in most cases you don't need to go that far unless you're shooting towards the sun or in a really contrasty scene. So let's now test out the 24mm lens. The ISO number is set to the lowest, which is 54. And when I now increase the dial to around 32, and the image to me looks really good. We don't have any vignetting nor cross polarization. Let's now max out the VND. I'm gonna set it to 800 and now increase it all the way to 128. Now you can see we do have some vignetting and cross polarization, but not as strong as with the ultra wide angle lens. But again, you usually don't need to go that far. So now we're testing the 48mm lens, the 2x lens, and I've set the ISO again to the lowest number. And let's now dial in the ND around here. Again, we're at ND 32, and to me this looks great. We don't have any vignetting nor cross polarization. So let's now max out the ND. I'm gonna set it to 800. And then increase the ND all the way to 128. I don't see any vignetting nor cross polarization, and this to me looks even better than the 1x and ultra wide. With the 2x you can really max it out. So let's now test out the 120mm lens, and the ISO number is even lower at 34, and the starting point is ND4 like always. And I actually don't need to do any adjustments since the 5x lens needs more light. So yeah, the ND4 is more than enough, but let's now max it out to around, let's go 800, and then increase it all the way to 128. Looks clean to me, no vignetting, no cross polarization. In general, I try not to max out the filter. I stay in the lower to mid range, which helps avoid vignetting and cross polarization. On the 1x lens, the VND strength worked really well for most bright scenes, as you can see, but if you dial it in too far, it can introduce some vignetting. The 2x and the 5x lens were even better. I saw less vignetting and had even more freedom to work with the VND without any issues. So let's now talk about the cons. Are you ready moment? The case itself feels a bit slippery. It's like soap. So I really wish it had a bit more grip or texture. Now the filters stay on securely, but there is a slight bit of wiggle. Can you hear it? It's nothing major, but I was expecting a tighter fit. Also, there's no lens cover included when mounted, which is a bit disappointing. Tragically, my filter fell off the MagSafe phone mount. You idiot. Not sure if you can see the scratches over here. Luckily, it didn't affect the glass, but it was pretty close, and a cover would have prevented that. And also the MagSafe mount might have not been the best option. And by the way, this is the one from Joby. This is actually really awesome because it has a 2-in-1 feature. So you got the MagSafe, but I can also turn it into a clamp, as you can see. I love the convenience of the MagSafe, but for certain shots, you might want to stick with the clamp. By the way, I'll link all products mentioned in the video description below. The next downside is that their filters are only compatible with iPhone 15 and 16 Pro and Pro Max models. So if you're using an Android or an older iPhone,
you're out of luck.
Plus, these filters don't work with other cases, locking you into their ecosystem. Lastly, the filters aren't stackable, and there's also no combo option available. I'd really love to see a VND and bloom combo in the future. It's not a major issue for me since I mostly use the VND and can always add a bloom effect during post-production. So overall, it's a great system. It strikes a great balance of quality, speed, and portability, and it's definitely earned a spot in my kit. If I had to pick one lens, I'd go with the VND filter. It's the most important one for achieving a cinematic motion blur in my videos. And it's also the one I'll keep using for on-the-go shooting. I can just whip my phone out, open up the Blackmagic camera app, adjust the exposure, start recording, and that's it. Now, it's not exactly cheap, but it's also not overpriced considering the high quality glass and solid build you're getting. So folks, I want to hear from you. What do you think about Moment's QuickLock filter system? Would you add it to your mobile filmmaking setup, or do you prefer something else? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for sticking around, and if you want to see some other cool setups I use to get cinematic results, check out this video right here. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care and see you in the next one.